Hare Krishna and welcome to the day 3 of the Bhishma Panchak special series, No More Lousy New Year Resolutions. So today we'll be talking about enthusiasm, Utsaha Nishchayat Dhairyat. So our philosophy in the Nectar of Instruction says that enthusiasm is very important in devotional service and also the determination and patience. So when we put all these three things together, as we discussed yesterday, it gives a good balance. Only enthusiasm is in the mode of passion, being enthusiastic to do things, but without that proper understanding of vision, what are we trying to accomplish? Why am I trying to accomplish? And the patience to execute them, then all that combined together is what creates a sattva guna or goodness, a mode of goodness goal setting. Okay, I'm supposed to be enthusiastic, but what if I'm not enthusiastic to accomplish my goals? Why does that happen? So let's take, for example, waking up early in the morning. So can you wake up at 4 o'clock every day? We may say, I'll try, but it's difficult. But if I told you, I'll give you $1 million if you get up at 4 o'clock for the next 1 year. Can you do that? Every day at 4 o'clock. If you wake up, you're going to get $1 million. Would you do it? I would say definitely. So the point is not whether we can do it or not. It's whether we consider it worthy enough to take it up as a goal and accomplish it. The Shakti, the strength to do it is within all of us. But whether I decide to do it or not depends on how much value I give to that particular goal. So it kind of all boils down to that self-worth, self-respect, self-esteem. How important and valuable do I consider my life is? And accordingly, I take certain steps, such as waking up in the morning, chanting my japa with quality, or whatever. Yeah, I tried this personally, this technique. If I had to do a particular devotional activity and my mind was like going lazy, and I said, if you got $1 million, would you do it? And my mind would go, yes. And then my intelligence, I tell the mind, this particular activity is worth $1 million. Do it. And yeah, sometimes my mind does it. So it's about that belief. If we believe that I deserve the best life or not. If we don't believe, then it's a whole self-worth issue. And we'll talk about it more tomorrow. What to do if we have that difficulty in accepting ourselves and feeling some pride, some security about ourselves, and therefore we're not able to really set proper goals and work towards it. That's a different issue. But today, if we'll speak more about that inspiration. If we have that inspiration from within, then whatever we've got, we will accomplish the goal. Even to an extent, even if I don't have an alarm clock, if I'm told that if I wake up every day at 4 a.m., I'm going to get $1 million, even without an alarm clock, I'll be able to get up. Similarly, like this experience I've had with making these videos, for the Kartik month, I've been making videos every day. It's been similar. Without inspiration and that clarity and that vision and that sattva guna, I must say, some sattva guna, without that, even if I had a best iPhone, the best resolution and the best editing software, best clothes and everything, if without that inspiration, all these things are zero. And when there is that inspiration and when there is that, like yesterday I discussed, if I became willing to be embarrassed, became willing to it's okay to make mistakes, but just stick to the goal, the consistency, and say, no, I want to do this thing every day. With that inspiration, everything goes on. That's the Utsaha Nishchaya Dhairya. That's the enthusiasm, the determination, and the patience. Patience also, tolerance and patience also towards our mistakes. Tolerance and patience also towards our vulnerabilities. Every day, I always felt this is not that good. It's not good enough. But because I made that sankalpa, that vow, that I will make a video every day, it didn't stop me. So the point I'm talking about is that inspiration. And I read something this morning I thought I should share with you. This is from 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And this is Prahlad Maharaj speaking to his demon friends. So he's speaking about he's telling his friends, look, the Lord, Supreme Lord, is in your heart, and he's a well-wisher, and there's no difficulty in worshipping him. Then why you shouldn't engage in it, and why you're addicted to sense gratification, which is such a waste of time and such an unnecessarily hard endeavor, difficult endeavor. And Prabhupada also actually emphasizes that point. Krishna, because he's in our heart, we can immediately come in touch with Krishna. And there is no difficulty in coming in contact with the Supreme Lord. On the other hand, going to hell requires great endeavor. Going to hell requires great endeavor. If one wants to go to hell by illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, or intoxication, he must acquire so many things. For illicit sex, he must arrange for money. And for meat eating, he must arrange for many slaughterhouses and casinos and etc., etc., etc. So, and then he says, there's no difficulty in approaching the Lord. Adanta gobir vishatatma tamishram. Because of the inability to control the senses, one must go through great endeavor to go to hell. But if one is sensible, he can very easily obtain the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because the Lord is always within him. Oh my God, when I read this, and I was just like, that's true. Even if I don't set goals, even if I don't with determination accomplish something, little thing every day, still my mind is always making some or another plans for sense gratification, to engage myself in some activities that are going to get me into trouble, because that's the nature of the body and the mind. It's always scheming how to get some pleasure or another out of this world, out of people around me, etc. So it's a very important principle here that whether I plan or not, I'm going to be engaged doing something. If I'm not making videos and studying Bhagavatam and teaching something, maybe my mind wants to just space out on YouTube and watch talent shows or worse. So the point is, the mind wants some engagement or another. So if I don't compassionately, gently discipline the mind to do something that's going to bring me happiness in the end, then it'll put so much effort, so much endeavor into doing something thinking it's going to give me pleasure, and at the end I'll only be depressed, guilty and ashamed, because other people will be moving ahead and I look at myself and say, oh my God, I'm wasted this time, and the guilt and the shame and so many more baggage to process. So this is something that I realized. Whether or not I plan, mind will keep working, body will keep doing things. But if I fix the goal I want to do, then I'll do it in a different way. And yesterday we spoke about the blocks, the challenges that stop us from achieving the purpose of our life. And the core of all those three different obstacles I spoke of was the ego that blocks, makes me think that I'm not good enough, makes me think that, other people have such amazing thing and mine is little, and what's the point? And we may have all these issues, comparison and other issues, but to keep that energy and not let it go away that's a goodness, that's a tolerance, and understanding that it's not about achieving something great in my life. That's not the point. As an astrologer, that's been my experience for years. Whatever is in our karma to enjoy or suffer will come. But the point is more about the success of life is to engage ourselves appropriately, and how we engage our time and our energy is in our hands. The result is not in our hands, and the kind of results and the consequences, we cannot control it. So the main thing I must think is, how am I going to be engaged today? And what I'm going to choose to do? How worthy do I consider it to be? How worthy do I consider myself to be? What am I going to give myself in that day, in that month, in that year? It's a very important introspection, because time is going to run, time is there, and we are also there. We are going to keep moving, time is going to keep moving. Something that separates the two of us is that worth and value. Where am I going to invest my energy and my time? Personally, I've gone through some years of life with total passion. According to Vedic astrology, until we are 36, we kind of still don't know what we really want in life, and so we kind of engaging our energies into activities that we may not really truly value or honor. So when we do that, it comes to a point, at 36, it's like Saturn matures. So it makes us a little bit look back and say, wait a minute, is this really what kind of life I want to lead? Is this really my right motivations? I personally traveled the world, and I was so engaged, busy all the time, doing astrological readings for others, healings, and being engaged in different activities and preaching everything external. I was always getting things done. But what was really missing was self-care. So, no, I neglected myself, my own values. I didn't figure out what I exactly wanted. So I was very, very busy doing things. That's something I want to share with this in this book. They give us this core values. This is something that I've been meditating a lot, and I thought I'll share with you. Why values are important? Because according to Bhagavad Gita, Krishna speaks about the aspect of Dravya Shakti, Kriya Shakti, and Gyana Shakti. And Dravya Shakti means the strength or the power in objects, in having things. Having is the Dravya Shakti. I have a phone, I have a computer, I have a house, I have a family. It's like something that is tangible, something that we can see and touch. And that's usually like the mind. We want to accomplish things which are tangible. I want to get a car, I want to get a house, I want to get a degree, I want to get a mobile phone, I want to get a computer, I want to get married, I want to have a child. So these are all things like I want to have. So that, according to Bhagavad Gita, is the Dravya Shakti, and it is also in the mode of ignorance, because ignorance is about the tangible, the external things. And then is the next level is the Kriya Shakti. Kriya Shakti is the ability to manifest things, to do things, to get things done. It's in the mode of passion. I want to run, I want to accomplish this project. I want to work hard and raise money for the project. I want to go and open an orphanage and serve children. And everything is action based, and it's in the mode of passion. I want to do that, I want to do this. And then finally is the Gyana Shakti. And Gyana Shakti is in the mode of goodness. Gyana Shakti means in knowledge. Knowledge means values. Things like, I want to be happy, I want to be generous, I want to be grateful, I want to be genuine, I want to be expressive, I want to be open-minded, I want to be disciplined, I want to be knowledgeable, I want to feel abundant, I want to be an abundant person. So there's such a big difference between I want to have a lot of money and I want to be an abundant person. Because an abundant person can be under a tree and still feel abundant. He can say, wow, I get such fresh air and the water from the river, and I have shade from this tree, and I'm getting fruits from this tree, and I get firewood from this tree to keep myself warm. And a person can feel abundant. A person can experience abundance if he feels that inside him, in the feeling of being abundant. Whereas a person who might have all luxuries of life can still feel poor. Having a lot of money in the hand, in the bank account, living in a luxurious house, can still feel poor. So that's why the core values are extremely important. And it's a lesson I learned through my own life, engaging myself in the Kriya Shakti and the Dravya Shakti, and especially Kriya Shakti has been like my focus. Do, and not really knowing what am I trying to develop, what qualities am I trying to develop. So this is something I'm trying to work for this year. This particular book asks to figure out what are those Gyana Shakti goals that we want to accomplish. And there are many things here they give about courage, relationships, inspiration, accountability, dedication, intelligence, resilience, achievement, dependability, intuition, resourcefulness. So each one we can actually take. I give you the example of abundance. So similarly, acceptance. Okay, let me say acceptance. That's one of my top goals for 2021, to develop that sense of the acceptance. If I don't accept myself, like if I don't think what I'm going to say now is something useful, worthy, it doesn't matter how many of you will give me thumbs up and likes and comments that it's great and useful, I'm going to not feel accepted, because it has to come from within. If I don't feel acceptance, nothing externally can give it to me. Even if I have 20,000 people commenting and million people sharing the video and billion people watching the video, if I don't feel that sense of success, that security, that acceptance, then none of those having the likes and none of me making wonderful videos with wonderful editing is going to make me feel accepted. Is that clear? So this is something that has been one of my big realizations. Similarly, balance or even gratitude. If I don't feel grateful, doesn't matter what I have in life, I'm always going to feel like this is lacking or that is lacking. So, my dear friends, if we can work together, help each other to keep going back to the Gyana Shakti and not focus on the Dravya Shakti and the Kriya Shakti, not only pushing us as get this done, get that done, did you get everything done in your diary? It's not going to work in the long run, because the mind is not going to follow such kind of instructions which are not based on the core motivation. I mean, a lot of us do get things done in that way for many years and then have a breakdown. And then we get into tamaguna, depression, and feeling a sense of no self-worth, lack of self-esteem, lack of confidence. If you're experiencing any of this, depression, lack of self-worth, lack of self-esteem, lack of clarity, confusion, even besides being very, very engaged, besides having facilities, that means we are not focused on what actually should be our goal. I'll give you an example. Somebody may be a builder. Okay, you may be building wonderful buildings, building communities. You're going to get those things done at work, and you don't have to make a goal or planning for that. Once you're on site, you have to get things done. People give you the requests. You deal with electrician, you deal with the plumber, you deal with different people, and you get things done. That's not your goal. But who you are, what do you feel about yourself? What are your internal goals? Nobody can build you except yourself. And what do you want to build yourself with? What kind of materials do you want to build yourself with? You may be expert in building a house, a community, an apartment. You know what materials are best. But do you know what makes you, what builds you? What materials do you need to use to become the best? That's what I'm talking about, the core values. So what values do you want to cultivate? What kind of a person do you want to build in the end of the year? What kind of qualities and characters do you like to see in yourself? Nobody else can build that for you. Doesn't matter how much you're going to pay them. And if you're a doctor, then you may be like a super clean person and you're very cautious about all the appointments. Even that, once you're in the hospital, you go through the appointments, you get it done. It's not necessarily in itself a particular goal. If you are a conscientious, responsible doctor, you will do what a responsible doctor does. And you will have what a responsible doctor has. Good reputation, good clinic, good clients. You will have it naturally. Just as in the case of a builder, if he has a strong sense of self-worth, self-esteem, grounding, then he is going to do things that a strong, self-worthy, confident builder does. And he will have things that a self-worthy builder or contractor or architect has. So the point is, if we go back to the basics of focusing on the being satisfied, being accepting, being knowledgeable, then we'll end up having what those people have. But instead, if we try to do the opposite, I want to have an iPhone and then I'll be able to make proper videos and then I'll be able to express what I want. No, I can just use any Android phone, I am being resourceful, and therefore I use whatever resources I have, put up my phone, record the video, post it, and that's it. So the point is, I'll have what I will have. So it's not something I can control, but being is something I can work on. And let's take another example. If you're a very well-dressed but stressed out corporate person, you may have a lot of goals to accomplish at your workplace. and you're building a company, you're making amazing developments for the company, but your own internal development is something only you can do. Your development is not dependent on where you bring the company to. Even if you own a company or you're working for a company, the progress and this growth of the company does not reflect your self-worth. It does not reflect how much you're going to grow as a person. That's a separate goal. So when I'm talking about goals, my dear devotee friends, this is some core I'm really trying to get to. And I would actually like to form a Facebook group where we can actually discuss and keep encouraging each other to accomplish goals. And those of you who would like to start this, I will put a link below for the group. Then we can actually help each other. And then based on those goals that we are trying to set, based on those values that we want to keep in mind and want to develop, want to become those qualities, that we want to be a person with those qualities. Also there is like health, right? Feeling healthy. And then we'll naturally, if I feel healthy, I'm going to eat the right things, I'm going to do the right things, I'm going to work out, etc. But if I feel unhealthy, if I'm just feeling like I'm such a failure, my body is such a drag, then naturally I'm not inspired to do things that a person with a healthy body will do. And I'm not going to have a healthy body either. So it has to begin with feeling worth, self-worth. Again, tomorrow we'll talk more about self-worth and all that. And then there is also in this book, the quality of life, current state. You have to like circle where you are at in terms of your body, in terms of your mind, in terms of your relationships, world around. And we need to mark from 1 to 10 where we are at. And then at the end of the year, we look back and say, where am I today? So that's progress. Okay, this is something important I wanted to say. One of the reasons that we may not feel determined could also be very, very practical thing, such as we are not in great shape. Our body does not feel strong and healthy. Our mental health is not balanced. We will be too stressed at work. Our physical body is not taken care. We are so focused on Kriya Shakti and Dravya Shakti. We're so focused, I want to have this, I want to have that, I want to do that, I want to do this, that we've forgotten what we want to be. So forgetting that I want peace, I want health, I want wisdom, I want acceptance, I want gratitude, forgetting that and focusing only on doing, we break our bodies, we break our minds, and then we end up feeling stressed out, depressed, lack of inspiration in life. So that kind of planning can go a long way. So this is something I wanted to share today, and it's been a longer video than yesterday, but it was very important for me to share. This main goal of me doing these videos was to help you understand that core value is very important, focusing on sattva guna is very important, and isabeku iddu jaisabeku. We are here in the middle of the ocean. We cannot just become tamasic, ignorant, and just become lazy and drown. Time is going to go away, and when we are lazy, tamas will make us feel guilty and ashamed. That's not what we want. And we cannot be in passion, just freak out, do, and neglect our bodies, neglect our mind, neglect our spirit, soul, and just, run around left and right like a headless chicken. That's also not going to help us really reach the goal. So what is going to help us is sattva guna, is swimming across with right intent, right motivation. That's what is going to actually help us. We have to swim, and we have to swim strategically so we reach the shore, not just swim left and then swim right. And it's like if we want to find water, if we dig in so many places, we will not find water anywhere. So we have to dig in one place. So that's the kind of goal setting we're talking about. So look forward, and I'm very happy that you're joining me in this journey. So tomorrow I'll be discussing more about developing that sense of self-worth, self-esteem, and different areas of life. I'll share a little bit about my realizations on astrology and different areas of life and how we can develop ourselves in a full holistic way. So thank you very much for watching. See you tomorrow. Happy Kartik, happy Bhishma Panchak. Hare Krishna.